Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew and welcome back to Leo Gaming. In this recreation video for Transport Fever of the Tokyo Recreation Project, I want to go and quickly give you guys a quick update. Now, it's been a total of about 2 weeks since the last video was released, and initially I wanted to have this episode recorded and published 2 weeks ago. But some personal things have come up and I wasn't able to get it recorded in time. So I decided to take some time out of my day the Sunday before this actually goes up and just record it. So what you're seeing me do right here is actually work on the Shinjuku train station, which is the station that connects the Odeo Line, some of the Shinkansen lines, and some of the regional commuter lines, as well as some other subway lines that are too many to name off. And I want to go in and quickly let you guys know there are a few mods that I decided to add into the save, just so that you guys know what I am using for the recreation project. One of them is fairly new. In fact, you'll see me cut out. You'll see me basically go from in-game and back into in-game, like in about, I'd say, 6 to 7 minutes. So there's that. And oh, I remember this part. This part right here I absolutely love, because literally it's an express track that runs parallel to a commuter track. And I love this because you literally get that sense of realism, because there are lots of tracks like that anywhere you go to. And the one thing I hated about this is that I had to replace it with a crossover station, meaning that it had to have an underground section with it. Mostly for the fact that the Odeo Line, which we are finishing up in this episode, actually connects to that station. So it kind of works together in a lot of ways. So you'll see me work mostly on the Odeo Line in this episode. In fact, actually the only part there's only about like 2 to 3 minutes of time-lapse footage where you'll see me working on the Yurikamome line. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm totally like blanking out on how you pronounce all the names, but I will definitely have them all memorized again by the time next episode comes around. In fact, next episode will be coming out next week as well. In case you guys do not know, there will be a new series coming out tomorrow. I'm not going to say what, because literally there will be a trailer coming out for it later today about what's going to be coming out. And I think that you guys will actually like it. So what else are we going to be doing in this episode? Well, first of all, I want to go ahead and get some trains rolling on this line. Now, I did do some work after the time-lapse had finished and tried to see whether or not there was anything else that I can do to get the line working better, because by the time we get done in the time-lapse, the Odeo line doesn't really work. And I tried for about a total of I think it was somewhere around 30 to 45 minutes just trying to figure out what was wrong with the line, because it kept on saying could not connect all stations, could not connect all stations, and it was so irritating. I literally almost drove myself insane. So I got fed up with it. I took all the vehicles off the line, and I decided to come back to it in the next episode, so that way you guys can take a look at it as well. So what else? Yeah, that's right. We upgrade the Yurikamome line to narrow gauge track, and you guys will actually see that here in about, I want to say, in about 5 minutes. So I'm kind of rambling on right now, so you guys aren't like going to deal with me much for the next few minutes. I'm gonna come back towards the end of the video, and I'm just going to end it off. There is actually a little bit of ride footage that I take on the Yurikamome line, and it takes at about 12 minutes. It's about half of this video. So if you guys want to watch that, I will most likely appreciate it. If you guys just want to watch the time lapse, go right on ahead. I have no problem with the matter. The video is going to be ending at about roughly 25 to 25 and a half minutes long. And I hope you guys noticed, but I have created a new channel intro. This channel intro I wanted to specifically make, even though it is like a template that I got from a channel that all I had to do is just search Blender intro gaming channel templates, and it's a simple one that I can use. And I'll give full credit to the author once when I figure out who actually created the intro, because I kind of forgot. But anyway, this part was kind of weird. There was one part of the line where I had issues with trains going to that station that had the terminal with it, and they would be going back to in the opposite direction to another station along the line, and I had no clue why it kept on doing that until I went over to another station that apparently was listed right after that stop. So I was like, what the heck is it going over there for? It doesn't need to go over there for it. And why the heck did my mouse click on that? So I deleted that stop, and oh, right here I'm putting in the siding so that way the what is it? The subway cars actually come on out and basically reverse to go back onto the line. Because literally at this point in the line, what it is that the trains terminate on platform 2, and then they start their next journey on platform 1. So they terminate at platform 2, they go out, they go into a little siding area, and then they come right back in over into platform 1. Okay, that's how it basically works. It's the same type of deal for like if you go into like the cities near where I live. I live in Concord in California, and there's one route nearby me, which is the Bay Area Rapid Transit route for Pittsburgh to San Francisco. And on the Pittsburgh portion, it's literally set up in the same way. Trains come in on platform 2, they go out into the siding, and then they come back out into platform 1. It's relatively simple. But with the new eBard extension coming in, that's going to become completely irrelevant. So, what else am I doing in this episode? Well, you can see now I'm placing in the line, and this was all well and good, except this is the part where I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on. So I put on a train just to follow it and see what was actually going on with the actual line. So I followed it, and then at one point it says could not connect, no electricity. Then I realized that it had been connected to a station that was not a part of the actual Odeo line. If you take a look, the Odeo line, there's a section between two of the stations. I can't remember which ones it is, by the way, but there's a section to where it basically goes by a station but doesn't stop at it. It goes like right underneath. So it kind of gets a little bit iffy there. So when I thought about it, I was like, oh, okay, so that's why it wasn't doing that. So then I removed those stops, and it was working for a short time. And then a few moments later, I get another message saying could not connect all stations. And I was like, oh great, what's going on now? So I look back at the line again, and oh yeah, here's the part where I removed those stops. I look back at the line again just to make sure that none of the stops were added that were in their incorrect places, and just to make sure that they were in the correct position. And I wanted to also make sure that the track speeds were equivalent to what the actual speed of the train's limit is. So here I'm just putting in about a dozen trains onto the line. This knocks down the frequency of the line to about roughly 4 minutes, I want to say. Something like that. Yeah, I think it's 4 minutes. And right here I'm just connecting like part of the lineup with some roads. Okay, that terminal station I end up replacing after I get done with the time lapse footage. And right here, this is where I go ahead and quickly cut out and go out of the game to get what is called the parallel, track pattern designs installed. And I kept on messing around with it, trying to figure out, okay, what's the best setting for this and how can I make it work the best for my save. So I messed about with it and it came out pretty damn well. I do have to give the author some amazing credit here. He did a fantastic job just getting this together. And there was one point where the footage actually cuts out. Or not, actually it doesn't cut out in this footage now that I think about it. But there was one point where basically I had to get rid of part of that track. I can't remember what time. I'll most likely go over it in the next episode. Okay, so right here I'm just connecting up some of more of the stations, and now I'm taking care of the narrow gauge section. And then I do a quick cut because I go ahead and think about riding one of the trains. Okay, yeah. Here's where I upgrade all the tracks to narrow gauge. Now, the weird thing I had about the narrow gauge is that there is the narrow gauge upgrade tool. And the weird thing about it is that if you're using it on the elevated station, it doesn't really work to the best of its abilities. You actually have to delete the station first, from what I have experienced just by using it for a short amount of time. You have to delete the station first, replace it with the narrow gauge, and then you can go ahead and place down your track. It kind of became a little bit repetitive, but heck, it worked in the end. And I just wanted to make it look aesthetically pleasing as possible. And another question that I may get asked is, why did I decide to go for narrow gauge? Well, simply I wanted to take advantage of the narrow gauge pack and also the narrow gauge Japanese rail trains that had been on the workshop. There's about 6 different variants of them, so I wanted to make sure that they were the best of their abilities. And I wanted to use them with the narrow gauge. So here I am replacing all the stations over to narrow gauge, and literally what it is that it became so repetitive after this that I did not want to replace even the Odeo Line stations. Some of the Odeo Line stations did have narrow gauge, but not all of them. Some of them had standard, some of them had the high speed, some of them even had the narrow gauge. So I'm not even sure if I'm going to upgrade even those stations. Okay, I think I've rambled on enough, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, and I'll talk to you guys at the end of the video.